Okay, so what I was saying is if you delete a deformer before you delete history on your mesh, then the mesh is going to pop back to its original shape because there's not a deformer telling it what shape it should be in anymore. Okay, so I'm going to undo and add that deformer back in, and if let's say I want to keep this shape, then I can go to Edit, Delete by Type, History, and you'll notice that it deleted that deformer for me. Anyway, we can verify that by looking in the outliner or the hypergraph hierarchy editor, and all I've got is a box. You know, before I deleted history, add a box and a bend one handle. So that was my bend deformer transform, is what that was, or is. Okay, so I'm going to delete that bend, and now we can more quickly go through the other nonlinear deformers. So I'm going to select the box, go to Create Deformer, Nonlinear, Flare. I can't even remember what this one does, to be honest. But it has all these different attributes. It has this low bound, high bound. We turn on X-ray so we can see what the handle actually looks like. And we just want to play with these. So it looks like the curvature is going to kind of squash it out. So we have our start flare that's kind of, I'm not even sure how this would be very helpful, but there you have it. And so you can do the same thing the other direction, and then you can do it to the top. Okay. Then again, you got that curvature attribute, which can go negative. That might be a little bit more useful. And again, you have your high bound and low bound attributes. So you could do that just at the top portion of the mesh if you wanted to. Okay. Now, if ever you like, let's say you like the settings of your deformer, and this goes for any deformer in Maya. If you like those settings, but you want to turn it off without undoing those settings, then you have this envelope attribute. And you can turn this to 0, and that particular deformer will no longer affect the mesh. If you turn it back to 1, then it will affect it 100%. So quite often when we're rigging, we'll see, and in Maya, using Maya in general, we will have attributes that are a float value, meaning their decimal value is somewhere between 0 and 1. If ever you see that, you can know that they're representing 0% all the way to 100%. And sometimes you can go beyond 100%. I don't believe that's the case for the envelope attribute, though. We can try it real quick by entering a 2. Oh, and in fact, it did let me increase it beyond 1. So in essence, by doing that, I've taken whatever deformation this flare deformer is doing and multiplied it by 2. Okay, so that ought to be enough on nonlinear deformers for today. We'll continue this discussion tomorrow.